Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on Introducing Reliance Foundation Undergraduate Scholarship 23-24, an aptitude test prep session. We are delighted to have some of the best and the brightest students from around the country joining us today virtually. Let me congratulate all the students who have successfully applied for the scholarship. We have great speakers today with us who will be telling you more about the scholarship, aptitude test, pattern paper, and the process to attend the test. But before we start, let's see the introduction video about the Reliance Foundation undergraduate scholarship.
They say a life is to be lived to its fullest. So we all do it in our own ways. Some live it in numbers, while some color its every page. Some like to play with the sparks, while some just dance on its stage. Some make reactions in the lab, and some make reactions in our hearts. And of course, these dreams don't come true that easy. There will be challenges. Despite this, each of these dreams is worth pursuing. The Reliance Foundation Undergraduate Scholarships aim to give wings to all these budding minds of tomorrow.
The scholarship will provide up to ₹2 lakh for up to 5,000 students across the country. Anyone pursuing an undergraduate degree in any stream of their choice with an annual family income of up to 15 lakhs can apply. To apply, simply log in to scholarships.reliancefoundation.org and follow the simple process. First, fill the registration form on our website. Then complete your application form by filling in all the details. This will lead you to an online aptitude test. And finally, up to 5,000 scholars will be selected on a merit-cum-means basis. 5,000 students, 5,000 dreams, 5,000 opportunities.
The Reliance Foundation Undergraduate Scholarship is one of India's largest, inclusive, and diversified scholarship, and it uses a robust and transparent system for selection of scholars. Answering the aptitude test is a mandatory requirement to be considered for the scholarship, and the score obtained in this is an important factor in the selection process. To talk more on this, I would like to welcome and thank our amazing speakers who are joining us tonight for this webinar. Our first speaker for the day is Mr. Kyron Rodrigues, Lead Scholarship, Reliance Foundation, and our technical and assessment expert, Dr. Bijan Roy, Vice President, Head of Department, Assessment Development Center, Merit Track. We also have with us a scholar from the batch 22-23, Ms. Sitija Kashik. She will be sharing her experiences and the preparation done for the aptitude test. I welcome all of you. To begin the session, we will play the Reliance Foundation Undergraduate Aptitude Test Tips video.
Hello, I hope the application process has been going well so far. I'll discuss the next stage of your application process, the aptitude test, to make the rest of your experience seamless. So, let's get started. After submitting the application form, you will be assigned a date and time slot for the test by the system. The aptitude test is designed to test your mental skills, including verbal ability, analytical and logical ability, and numerical ability. The verbal ability test checks your understanding and depth of knowledge of the English language. The analytical and logical ability test examines how you analyze a problem, identify the root cause, and provide solutions. The numerical ability test analyzes your reasoning skills to interpret, analyze, and solve mathematical problems. Now, here's a checklist for you before you take the test. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. Use broadband, LAN, Wi-Fi or cable fiber net. Avoid mobile hotspot or USB tethering. Use modern web browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, etc. on your laptop or PC. Tests attempted via mobile phone will not be considered valid. Keep a government issued ID proof document ready in which your photograph and name are clearly visible. Finally, here are some do's and don'ts during the test. All students will be given an opportunity to attempt a practice test so that they can familiarize themselves with the test. If you have any questions, simply text hi on WhatsApp number or email us. Good luck with your application.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Kyron Roderick, Lead Scholarship from Reliance Foundation, to familiarize you with the aptitude test. Thank you, Kyron, for joining us tonight. My first question to Kyron is, please tell us what will be the format of the aptitude test.
Thank you, Sneha. Firstly, before I answer Sneha's question, I'd like to congratulate all the students on successfully completing the application form. That was just the first step in the process. The next step would be to answer the aptitude test, which is why we've had the session today to familiarize all of you all with the test. Uh, uh, the test will be the aptitude test will be for 60 minutes. We have three sections in the test. Each section will be for 20 minutes each, and this will test the applicants' verbal, analytical, and logical, and numerical ability. So these are the three different sections of the test. We have with us today Dr. Bijan, who's an expert and will take you all through what exactly those three sections will comprise of. The test will be for 60 minutes, except for those students with disabilities. For those students, they get another 30 minutes extra to complete the test. That is 10 minutes extra for each section. And within this time frame, the students will be attempting 60 questions. Please note that this test will be a proctored test, and it's a multiple choice exam. Students will have to choose the correct answer from the options available. Now, this is an online test, like everyone knows, and the students can take this test from anywhere as long as they have a good internet connection. They should be in a quiet place. They should take the test on their own with no external support from anyone else, and no access to any sort of technology apart from the test screen. Students will also have an option to give a practiced aptitude test. And in order for them to get themselves familiarized with the system, and to keep the students informed that this test is not a test of the students' knowledge. Hence, do not be worried about giving this aptitude test.
Great. Thank you, Kyron. I think this will clear many of the doubts of the question to begin with. But the next question, which continues with this, is can you tell us about the do's and don'ts that the students have to follow while taking this aptitude test?
Sure, Sneha. So the aptitude test do's would include, you have to take the assessment in full screen. You have to keep yourself on the video feed at all time. Your face has to be, on the video feed. It should be identifiable at all times. Make sure your room is properly lit. Keep your camera and microphone on at all times. Turning your camera and microphone off could lead to disqualification. So please keep that on at all times. Share your screen before you start the test. The don'ts would include do not try to open multiple windows on your browser. Just keep this one window open. Do not allow anyone else in the room while they're taking the test. Please, if you're taking it from home, inform your relatives, family members well in advance that this 1 hour, please do not enter this room. Please do not make anyone else to take the test for you, and there should be no conversation or noise in the background, especially if someone tries to talk to you. Please note that this is a proctored test, and by proctored we mean that it is monitored. We have AI proctoring as well as human proctor. So the AI will check whether you are trying to switch your browser windows, whether you're trying to Google something, whether you've got anyone else in the room. And we also have human proctors who will be present, who will be monitoring your test at all times. And if any malpractice is observed, you will be disqualified from the results, and you will not stand a chance to get the scholarship from us.
Okay. To take this little more ahead, we say, like how to prepare for the test, what the student should refer or whom they should consult when they're preparing for this test.
Sure. So Dr. Bijan will, I'm sure, will touch upon the more technical aspects of how to prepare for the test. But my few tips to the students would be to take the sample, the practice test that everyone will be able to do. We also have a sample question paper on our website, so please look at that as well. You can also speak to your seniors in case any one of them have received the scholarship last year, who has attempted the aptitude test last year. I would suggest you please speak to them, and they will also be able to guide you. So these are the few ways that you could prepare for the test.
Okay, when you say that they can take a practice test, so when will the practice test happen and when the students will get the link for this?
Right. So, Sneha, the link for the practice test, in fact, has already gone out to the students on the 18th of October. Students can take this practice test only once up to the 23rd of October. After that, the practice test will not be available. Also, students can take this test only between 8 in the morning and 10 in the night. So, only between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. between 18th and 23rd. Only on these days, the students will be able to take the practice test. And students, this is a practice test. It's not a full 60-minute test. The duration of this test will only be for 15 minutes.
Okay, but is it mandatory to take this test or?
It is compulsory to take the test in case you want to make sure that everything is running smoothly, and if you're prepared technically, at least technology wise, for the test, you'll also be better mentally prepared to take the final test if you do take this practice test. Hence we strongly advise you to do take the practice test.
Can you please show us the demo or basically a demo to the students how they can take the practice test?
Sure. I'll just present my screen. Right, so I hope my screen is visible. So all students would have received an email informing them that the practice test is available. These mails were sent on the 18th. So in case you haven't got the link to the test, please let us know. Uh, the email starts with please click here for the practice test. So you can directly click on this link to start the test. But a few other instructions are given on the test on this email. For example, the dates on which it is available and the time on which it is available. Also, as a reminder, what date and time will be your test. This is just a sample email. Please look at your individual emails to see what the date and time of the test is going to be. You would have already received this earlier, but you can just refresh yourself with the date and time again. You can also see there are a few other instructions on using broadband, not to use other hotspots or USB tethering to start the test. So in order to take the test, you can either click here. Also, this test is available on your application portal. So if you log into your to the scholarships application portal, you can also click on the green flashing button over here that says take practice aptitude test. Now students, for the main test, for your final test, you will receive a similar email, right? You will get the link to click on the email itself to start the final test. But this test will also, button for the test rather, will also appear on your application dashboard. So you can access your test link from these two places, right? So I'll just click on this to show you how the test will load. So once you click, this section will open. Please go through the rules of this, agree to it, click on continue. Then the system will do a compatibility check. So as you can see, it has checked my browser, webcam, microphone. Now you typically have to give access to the platform to use these two things, right? So because I have taken this earlier, it picked it up automatically. Otherwise, you will get a thing to give access to a webcam and microphone, which you need to do. Now it is asking me to start capture. I will do that. To share your screen, you have to click on this screen, on this window, and then click on share. Once you do that, it's able to share. Then you say next. It will ask you to take a photograph. Take the picture. You can, if you're not happy with the picture, you can retake it. Otherwise, you can go to next again. It will ask you for your ID proof, like an Aadhaar card, passport, PAN. So all you need to do is show it nicely, visibly to I've blanked out my details because this video is going to be available online. But you need to make sure that your name and details on your card is clearly visible, right? You click on next, and then you can start your test. You can move this around. So this is the proctoring. So currently, since there's nobody in my background, it's giving me a green go ahead. This practice test is for 15 minutes. However, for the main test will be for 60 minutes. There are 3 sections, and you're allowed only one attempt for the practice test as well as the main test, of course. Then you say you agree to the terms and click on start assessment. So there are questions that will come up. You can choose what the right answer is. I'm going to select one. Then I go to the next question. So I'm just going to click on random answers, but this is the layout of the test. And at the end of all 15 questions, what you need to do is click on end test. So I'm not going to go through all the questions that are available. But once you reach the 15th question, once you're done with answering all the questions for the practice test, you can click on end test. Note, for the main test, there will be 60 questions. You will get 60 minutes. Only once you complete all of that, you should click on the end test. There is a timer here that tells you how many minutes are left to complete the test. So it starts. So for the main test, it will start from 60 and it will come down to 0. Right. So this is the layout of of the aptitude test, the platform. Uh, I'll end the test here now. So when you're ending, it will show you how many answers you've given. So I've answered 2. I've not answered 3 in this section. The total of 15. You can say yes. You're ending the test. Confirm. And that's it. You will get a screen saying that thanks for taking the assessment, right? So that's the end. Once you get the screen, it means that your practice test or the main test, as the case may be, has ended.
Great. I think this demo given by you will surely help our students to, and they will feel more confident when even they are taking the practice test, and they will be very much prepared for the actual test. So thank you so much, Kyrin, for giving this demo and giving some more insights into the aptitude test. Now we'll move on to our next session of for the today, like where we have our technical expert, Dr. Bijan Roy, an astute professional with more than 3 decades of experience in industry and academics, currently working as Vice President and Head of Department of Assessment Development Center for Merit Track. He is actively involved in developing and in providing strategy, direction towards intellectual enhancement and capacity building. He is immensely contributed to design, development, and deployment of assessments. We welcome you, Dr. Bijan Roy.
Good evening, Sneha. Good evening, friends. Very nice to be here. Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, we'll start with the first question to you, which will be very helpful for our students to understand what are the three components of the test, and can you please elaborate what are the three sections in the aptitude test?
Yeah. So this aptitude test is a pretty standard one. It is testing the cognitive ability of the candidates, and this is not much different than what generally we see for recruitment exams or for higher studies, positioning. It has got typically three sections, and there are reasons, why these three sections. One's first section is verbal ability. Typically, it is in English language. Second section is analytical ability or logical reasoning part of it. And third would be the numerical ability. So, any professional setting or any social setting, when we interact with people, uh, then we need these three abilities. First ability is how to communicate with others, and that is where your language skill should come. And that language skill in English, actually, we are testing here. It will have broadly, few components. Definitely your agility in terms of the grammar, vocabulary, and also playing with language, how agile you are. So there could be questions, maybe some questions straightforward on grammar. There could be some question on changing the voice, narration, could be asking some synonyms, antonyms, and maybe there are some construction error in the language in a sentence where you would expect candidates to identify that, or maybe three, four parts of the sentences given, and we would expect them to combine this and form that sentence. And sometimes it could be a paragraph also. And incidentally, they don't have to write anything. It is all selection type item, so they have to just select, A, B, C, D, and things like that, or in the order or something. So it's a very interesting and good part is, we are not expecting the level of this particular assessment would be very generic. We are not keeping it at the level of where you require a specific uh, qualification. It's the people, those who have studied good in the school, they should be able to do it. That's the verbal part of it. And if you come to analytical part of it, now what is it testing in general? It is testing your mental ability, your general intelligence. While we talk to others through a language, uh, similarly, we need to think. Let's say there is a problem given to us, how do we solve that problem? There is nobody else, how do you think and apply your mind? And that general intelligence actually gets tested in this analytical ability. There could be some with could be with bit of number, could be with figure. Let's say there are three figures given, what would be the fourth one? Or maybe there are a few animals name, and what is that odd one here? Stuff like that. It's you have to really not apply any specific knowledge here, but your general intelligence to solve that. And coming to third one, that is numerical ability. We are actually testing how agile a person is in terms of the numeracy. Can you really be agile with the number? And we must know that number is the language of science. The number is the language of uh, higher studies on science. So it's very important, and not only science. Why should I say science? In the day-to-day life also, in the field of commerce also, you would need. So numerical ability test is generally it is based on arithmetic, which all of us have studied in our school. So you don't need a specific higher level of qualification to uh, attend to these questions. But yes, you should be knowing that school level arithmetic applications. It could be in terms of age, it could be in terms of uh, speed, it could be in terms of percentage of work done, how much time it will take. So such kind of thing. It's all very interesting, and I'm sure the candidates would find it interesting to attend to these questions. And by now, if they have already seen the sample paper, I'm sure they would be up for it.
Great.
Yes, Neha.
Thank you, Dr. Bijan, for clearly demarcating and sharing such a clear information that what will be our three sessions, the sections in the aptitude test, that is first with the verbal, second is the analytical and logical, and third is the numerical thing. And very easily you have mentioned that the test will be an MCQ type questions where they have the four options to select. One is the right answer, and that's how they have to move ahead. So the second
Yes.
question to you on this is like, as you have clearly mentioned the three sections of the test, what suggestions you would like to give to the students on basis of what books or online reference material they can take it for to prepare for the test?
You see, these assessments or the type of these assessments are used for all kinds of exams, and these are available. The key to the candidates, my only advice or suggestion to the candidates would be, please practice it. The more you practice, the better would be your performance. It's not that where from you are practicing. I don't want to name anything specific. All are equally good. You can touch upon it, or the books for GMAT reference book, for CAT, or for GRE. So these kind of questions are there everywhere, or for any other competitive exams. There are plenty such sources available online. But more than knowing that where from, the more important would be you should practicing every day. And the more you practice, the better would be your performance, I'm very sure. Because there is nothing absolutely what you don't know here. All of us have studied in the school, so it is not that you are trying to acquire a new knowledge to be eligible, or enhance your performance here. How agile you are to understand this and then apply it. Everything is known. It is nothing unknown what we are going to ask in the exam here.
Thank you. So basically, irrespective of the stream, like it can be an art students, commerce student, law students, anyone will be easily able to attend this test and
Yes,
score good marks. But I just want to
exactly.
take a little ahead or means ask you what is the difficulty level of the test, like whether it is easy, moderate, or high difficulty level, like how it will be.
See, in any assessment of this kind, will have a distribution. So the purpose of any assessment is to uh, take out, because see, it's the selection is the process. And when you do selection, there are unfortunate part of rejection also. And you cannot do with only one kind of thing when you are doing selection and rejection. So there would be a spread across. It would be a balanced question paper, I'm very sure. There would be across all these different topics, whatever I have mentioned, or what candidates would see in the sample question paper. There would be questions easy, there would be questions moderate, there would be questions difficult. So it would be a well, balanced question paper, and where a moderate candidate would be able to, perform quite fairly in this. That's what I would say here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bijan Rai, for your time today and
Thank you. Pleasure
sharing
here.
such an insightful information with our students, because that will be really helping our students to feel more confident in attending the test in the upcoming days. So thank you for being with us here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you.
Now, it's to hear from a scholar with their personal experiences. Today, we have with us our very own scholar from the batch 22-23, Ms. Sitija Kashik. She is pursuing LLB, that is Bachelor's of Law from Delhi University. So I welcome Sitija to you on this webinar. My
Good
first
evening,
question
everyone.
to you, yes, go ahead, Satija. Satija, my first question to you
Good
would
evening,
be, how
everyone.
did you prepare for this aptitude test? And can you please share your personal experience on this?
Yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. I am Kshitija Kashik, currently pursuing LLB from University of Delhi. First of all, I would like to thank Reliance Foundation for selecting me as a scholar. I feel very privileged to be part of this webinar. Now, let us come to the question, how did I prepare for the aptitude test? The first thing I did was going through the sample paper, which is available on the website. This helped me in getting an overview of the syllabus. And the actual questions were very much similar to the questions in sample paper. I took mock tests before taking the actual aptitude test. This helped me in the time management and gave an idea of the question pattern. During the whole process of the preparation, whenever I had any doubt, I took the help of aptitude test helpline number which is available, and also I used to check my emails regularly, through which I used to get all kinds of notifications. Other than doing preparation for aptitude test, we need to get prepared for the whole setup before taking the test, like checking the compatibility of the system, identifying a quiet place to take the test, and checking whether the link for the test was present or not. And yeah, that's all how I prepared for the aptitude test.
Okay, good. But can you share the personal experience of the actual aptitude test, like how you prepared? What are the pre-preparations needs to be done before attending the actual test?
Yes, yes, ma'am. The whole process was very simple and smooth. Before 30 minutes, we need to get prepared with all the requirements for the test. We need to make sure that we have proper internet connection, and most importantly, we need to keep an ID card, whether it is Aadhaar card or PAN card, with clear picture, which is required to be shown during the starting of the test. And also we need to keep pen and paper, which is required to solve numerical and analytical questions. Question asked in the test, it was not that tough, it was of easy to moderate level. And just stay calm, the whole procedure is very user friendly. Don't worry and take the test with confidence. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Satija, for being with us here today and sharing your personal experience with the students. I know the personal experience shared by you will be really helpful for our student and they will feel really very much confident for applying this test. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now it's time for the Q&A session. We have received a lot of questions on our helpline number, on our email, on our chat box, and also during the event. And now I would like to call Kyrin, who is an expert in this field of scholarship, to answer all your questions which has been raised during the event and also during the application process. So, Kyrin, the first question to you is asked by the students specially. Do we have to pay for the aptitude test? And continue to that same question is whether they have to apply the test online or whether it will be in any one of the centers.
Let's also, I'll take the second part first, which is where the test will be. As students know, the test is online. You can take this from the comfort of your homes, or you can take it from your institute. It doesn't matter as long as you have a good internet connectivity. Please be in a quiet place. Please make sure there are not people moving around or trying to talk to you or try to get your attention. So choose a place accordingly. Now, the first part, rather, the question is whether you need to pay for this test. Students, please note, or please be aware that Reliance Foundation does not charge any money for applying for the scholarship, for taking the aptitude test, to do your document verification, to disburse your funds. Right? If anybody approaches you all to pay money for any of these things, please understand that this is a fraud and report them to us immediately. So, no, you don't have to pay for anything related to the Reliance Foundation scholarships.
Thank you so much for that elaborated answer, Kyron, and that will surely help the students. The next question for you is When will I receive the link for my aptitude test? Will I get any reminders for the test? If yes, and then when?
Right. So you will receive the link to the test, the final aptitude test, only one day prior to the actual date. So if your exam is on the 24th of October, you will receive the email only on the 23rd of October. The link will be present on the mail, and the link will also be present on your application platform. It will be flickering like I showed in the demo earlier.
Okay. While applying for this test, is it mandatory to have a laptop or a PC or a desktop? Or how can I
Yeah,
apply for this?
you have to take the test on a laptop or a desktop. I know we have questions that came in, is if I don't have a laptop, then what do I do? And my simple answer to that is, please arrange for a laptop, borrow from a friend, ask a relative. There were a lot of students last year who in fact approached their institutes, and they were kind enough to share, the computer lab and allow them to use desktops in the institutes. So please make arrangements for a laptop. You have plenty of time to do the same. So please ask around and get a laptop or a desktop available for the test.
Okay. Students are asking, like, my term exams are going on, it's my college timing. So, what should I do? Can I change my aptitude test dates?
So we will not be changing the test date and time under any circumstances. Please note that there are students from all over the country who are appearing for this test. So we cannot, schedule these things basis everyone's availability. We have informed students that, if you have a class on that day, this test is a matter of 60 minutes. Please request your colleges or your institutes to excuse you for that Vana, and please appear for this test. This test is a very important step in making sure that you get the scholarship. So please get those permissions in place and do answer the test.
Okay. The next question has been asked by a specially able student. Like, what are the special arrangements that have made for this PWD students?
Right. So for students with disabilities, on the application form, they were given an option to enter if they require any special assistance during the test, and we have noted those points down, and this will be kept in mind while they take the aptitude test. We also are permitting 30 minutes extra for students with disabilities. So they will get an extra 30 minutes in order to complete the test. The number of questions will remain the same, that is 60 for them as well.
Okay, okay. What will happen if the student is not able to take the test on the date given by the system?
So that would be considered as a self-elimination. If students do not take the aptitude test on the date and time that is allotted to them for whatever reason, the student will be disqualified and will not move ahead in the selection process.
By any chance, will they get a second chance to to re attempt for the test?
No, there will be no retests for the students.
Okay, so basically at first stage they have been eliminated if they don't attend the test on the given date and
Absolutely.
time which has been allotted to them. Okay.
Correct. That's right.
Like how the aptitude test will be scored, or like how the scores will be used for the declaring the results of the scholarship.
Right. So the scores are just one part of different parameters that we're looking at to do a final selection. So the test scores will play an important role in determining whether you do or do not get the scholarship. But it is just one of the parameters. It's not the only parameter.
What will happen, like there might be a cases or chances of power cut off, or my system might not work, or my system gets shut down automatically. So in these cases, what can be done?
So if you do face any issues while you are answering the test, like in case of an unfortunate power failure, or you've lost a network or something like that, you can log into the test again by going through the link, the same process that you did to enter the test in the first place, and then you will get to resume from where you dropped off. Right. So you can continue answering the test, even if you have a gap in between, or say 10 minutes where your internet was not working or your power cut was there. However, you'll have to complete the test within the time frame that was allotted to you. You will not get extra time due to the disruption, but you're allowed to continue the test due to the disruption. Make sure you click on the submit button before the time runs out.
So, for example, you are saying if my time schedule for my test was between 9:30 to 10:30, means that was my test schedule. But around 9:40, my power cut happened or my internet stopped working. After 5 or 10 minutes, I got into logged in again, but it will be only valid till 10:30. That's how you're saying, right?
That's right. That's right. So if you're between 9:30 and 10:30, if you've lost internet or lost power for say 10 minutes, you can resume the test at after those 10 minutes, but you will not be allotted any extra time.
Okay, I cannot use the link after 10:30. It's very much
No.
clear that the link is operational or functional only between 9:30 to 10:30.
Yeah, but if the start time is 9:30, then you have to start your test at 9:30 itself. If you try starting your test, say after 10 o'clock or something, that the link won't work. So there is a late login time that is given, but that's hardly for like 10 minutes or so. You will not be able to start your test later than the time that is given.
Thank you. Thank you so much for clearing this point because that was a major concern by many of the students. And I think maximum questions which came upon was based on this only, through, as I earlier said, through our emailers, through our helpline number, in our chat box. And I think many of the questions which you have answered has been very helpful for the students, and many of their doubts has already been cleared now. So, any final tips which you would like to give to the students before we conclude today's session?
Yeah, what I would like to tell the students, I mean, what I'd like to reiterate is please do not self-eliminate. This test is not as difficult as perhaps you think it is. If you have done, please take the practice test. Definitely, please take the practice test so that you know how the platform will behave. You'll know how you need to behave in order to work the test. Please don't self-eliminate. Please take the test. Keep a pen and paper handy with you in case you want to do some sort of calculations during the test. Please do not try to cheat during the test. Like I mentioned, we do have artificial intelligence proctors. We also have human proctors who will be watching you during the test. So please do not try to Google something or use Chat GPT. You will not get answers there, and you will only be wasting your time. Please arrange for a laptop, please arrange for a desktop if you don't have one. Don't let this stop you from getting the scholarship, and from we really look forward to welcoming 5,000 of you all into the Reliance Foundation undergraduate scholarship network shortly. So good luck.
Great. Thank you, Kyrens. It was great having you here today and listening to you basically and solving the students' queries. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stan.
So we hope now all your queries are resolved and you are all set and ready for and confident enough to take the test in the upcoming days as per the schedule you have received on your mailers. Don't forget your exam date and time. Please put an alarm so that you know on this particular day and this particular time you have your test. So, all the very best for your upcoming aptitude test. Have a great evening and a weekend ahead. Bye bye. Good night.